sound and fury. Listening is the mental ability to pay attention to the speaker. Next to eyes, ears are the most important means of learning. You can inculcate the art of listening by being patient and alert. Read and find out how the girl jumps to conclusion without waiting for the author to complete his sentence. Homophones add to her confusion. Read carefully and mark where she errs. Characters: Mr. Penne and author Miss Lore, an amanuensis. Scene: workroom of Mr. Penne's popular novel factory.
Good morning, Miss Lore. Glad to see you so prompt. We should finish that June installment for the Epoch today. Leverett is crowding me for it. Are you quite ready? We will resume where we left off yesterday. Kate, with a sigh, rose from his knees and...
Excuse me, you mean rose from her knees instead of his, don't you?
No, his, if you please. When Kate seen that Cortland never...
Excuse me, but wouldn't it be more grammatically correct to say, when Kate saw instead of seen?
The context will explain. When Kate seen that Cortland never forgot, came tripping across the lawn, it seemed to him the fairest sight that earth had ever offered to his gaze.
Oh!
Kate had abandoned herself to the joy of her newfound love so completely that no shadow of her former grief was cast upon it. Cortland, with his arm around her waist, knew nothing of her size.
Goodness! If he couldn't tell her size with his arms around?
Of her sighs and tears of the previous night.
Oh!
To Cortland, the chief charm of this girl was her look of innocence and unworldliness. Never had none.
How about changing that to never had any?
Never had none. In cloistered cell a face more sweet and pure.
Oh!
But now, Kate must hasten back to the house lest her absence be discovered. After a fond farewell, she turned and sped lightly away. Cortland's gaze followed her. He watched her rise.
Excuse me, Mr. Penne, but how could he watch her eyes while her back was turned toward him?
Possibly, you would gather my meaning more intelligently if you would wait for the conclusion of the sentence. Watched her rise as gracefully as a fawn as she mounted the eastern terrace.
Oh!
Pardon me. I was not seeking to impose upon you the task of a collaborator. Kindly consider the question apart from the text.
Oh!
On one side was Love and Kate. On the other side, his heritage of social position and family pride. Would love win? Love, that the poets tell us will last forever.
Perceives that Miss Lore looks fatigued and looks at his watch.
That's a good long stretch. Perhaps we'd better knock off a bit.
Miss Lore does not reply.
I said, Miss Lore, we've been at it quite a long time. Wouldn't you like to knock off for a while?
Oh, were you addressing me before? I put what you said down. I thought it belonged in the story. It seemed to fit in all right. Oh no, I'm not tired.
Very well. Then we will continue. In spite of these qualms and doubts, Cortland was a happy man. He set out for a stroll with as Kate on.
Excuse me, Mr. Penne, for venturing a suggestion, but don't you think you might state that in a different way?
What? I'm afraid of I fail to understand you.
The way he went. Why not say he was in a hurry? It would sound much more elegant than the way you express it.
Will you kindly point out, Miss Lore, what I said?
It is right here, word for word. Afterward, he set out for a stroll with a skate on.
Ah, and now, will you kindly take down the expurgated of the phrase? Afterward, he set out for a stroll with, as Kate on one occasion had fancifully told him, her spirit leaning upon his arm.
Oh,
Chapter 34. Heading: What Kate Found in the Garden. That fragrant summer morning brought gracious tasks to all. The bees were at the honeysuckle blossoms on the porch. Kate, singing a little song, was training the retrous branches of her favorite woodbine. The sun himself had rose. The sun himself had rows of blushing pinks and hollyhocks and hyacinths waiting that he might dry their dew-drenched cups.
oh,
The earliest trolley, scattering the birds from its pathway like some marauding cat, brought Coatland over from Old Port. He had forgotten his fair...
Wonder how he got the conductor to.
forgotten his fair and roseate vision of a night in the practical light of the sober morn.
Oh,
He greeted her with his usual smile and manner. See the waves, he cried, pointing to the heaving waters of the sea ready to break. Kate said with
my! One evening he has his arm around her, and the next morning he's ready to break her head, just like a man.
But suppose we finish the sentence. Ready to break, Kate said with the thrilling look of a soul-awakened woman, into foam and spray, destroying themselves upon the shore thy love so well.
Homophones. I. See. Formally. By. Seize. Ring. Rain. Arms. Isle. Wave. Doe. Altar. Course. Idle. Sweet. Medal. Compliment. Oh,
Coatland, in Kate's presence, heard faintly the voice of caution. 30 years had not cooled his ardor. It was in his power to bestow great gifts upon this girl. He still retained the beliefs that he had at 20. I think that will be enough for the present.
well, if he had the 20 that he believed he had, it might buy her a rather nice one.
The last sentence was my own. We will discontinue for the day, Miss Lore.
Shall I come again tomorrow?
If you will be so good.